So a question I get asked quite often is, what's a stealth tracker? Or what's the Goop Sole? Or why would I want that sole? What's the difference between that sole and the others? Advantages, disadvantages. Well, the Goop Sole, it's a goop mixture that I make that goes on basically a moccasin that has a double leather sole. Now that's different from a moccasin that has one of the other rubber style soles, cookie cutter styles. Basic one like this. I have a midsole which is glued and sewn to the base, which this is called the Gemini, this little layer of leather here. This is called the midsole. That's the sole. Here's the upper or the main body. So this has a midsole that's glued and sewn on. And then I can put on any sole on here. They can be replaced with any other sole that can be glued on. It takes a little bit of the flex out of it. Not much, but a little bit. So people that want not so much a traditional sole, but more of a traditional moccasin feel, and that's basically for the ground and also for the way it cups underneath your foot, the way it's designed. You go with the Goop Sole. This is a stealth tracker. Why I call it that is because it has the Goop Sole on there. Any of the moccasins that come with the Goop Sole are stealth trackers, no matter the height, styling, whatever. The Goop Sole makes it a stealth tracker. The Goop Sole, I make up the mixture. I sell it in a jar. I sell the powder mixture that comes with it as well, and you can make up your own. It's a recycled tire shaving mixture. That recycled tire shavings are sifted down to a powder form, mixed with Barge all-purpose glue, and instructions come with a video that you can get along with the goop, which you can order on my website, SodHoppers.com. So that particular Goop Sole has a lot of advantages. It makes the double leather sole, if you were to buy that, waterproof, and also gives some traction. A double leather sole is a wonderful, real moccasin feel and sole. It's got some drawbacks though. Protection-wise, it gets slick after it wears down a little bit, and you can slip right off your feet. Goop Sole has traction and grip, and it's waterproof, and you can go up around the seams with it, and you can you can do things like build up one side or the other if you pronate or supinate, so that you can kind of balance out the way you walk. Great for the back, great for your body. You can also patch and repair when it starts wearing down. The Goop Sole is 3 layers of thin goop placed over, spread out on the bottom of the moccasin, and so that second layer of leather will be the first layer you're going to see there, or that first layer there. When you wear through, you're going to see that first layer there, and if you see it, it's time to patch it. That first layer and the second layer, they're not real thick layers. They're not as thick as this layer up on the top. This is the standard thickness for the main body, which is about 1/8 of an inch thick. It's pretty thick. The trim pieces are about half that weight, and that's what I use for around here as well, just so that it comes together well, and the transition is a smooth transition for how it grabs onto your feet, and there's a less seam on the inside that way as well. A lot of good reasons for it, but sufficient to say I use 2 lighter weight leathers on the bottom. If you went for just the double leather sole, you have an option. I can do the same thing, or I can make that bottom layer a thick layer of leather, and that'll last longer. It's still slick, and it still doesn't keep the water out. You still feel more, and you don't have the traction. People love this sole. Some people swear by it and won't wear anything else. A lot of trackers, mountain men, bow hunters, military, police, tactical people use this, and it's a great sole. If you got tender feet and stuff, or if you're mainly walking around town, this is probably not the best option. If you're young enough and you like the idea of running around in flip-flops and bare feet and stuff like that, and having that feel for the ground, you're going to love this sole. This sole is going to be right up your alley. Anyway, so that kind of describes the difference of the soles and the Goop. And like I said, you can order the Goop online, SodHoppers.com. You can order the tire shavings online as well and mix up your own. And so there's instructions for that.